Chapter 8, The Number of the Beast. If this were a movie, you'd be watching a montage right now. One of us rifling through a stack of vinyl, another flipping studiously through a massive encyclopedia of rock. Maybe Echo, lit by the eerie green glow of a monitor, furiously typing as numbers project onto her face from the screen, because that's what hacking looks like, apparently. But that's not how it works in real life. So instead, I'll just have to tell you about it. Basically, we're terrified of the number 6 now. We're also terrified of our own record collections, our shadows, anyone we know who isn't part of the pack, and for some reason, cats. Still not sure what that's about. Echo's been compiling everything in the group chat. It's a running document now, covering all the songs we talked about in the barn. She's even started digging into the annals of heavy metal history, dragging out every track with a number in the title. We've got 30 Days in the Hole, 22 Acacia Avenue, 10 Years Gone, Engine Number 9, Revolution Number 9, Patient Number 9, Christine 16, 46 and 2, and Thunder Kiss 65. None of those concern me, really. We've got Pearl Jam with 5 Against 1. We've got Rammstein's Links 2, 3, 4. But it's the 6 songs that worry us most. 6 different ways. 6 ways to die. If 6 was 9 and 2 6s upside down. There are so many 6 songs turning up all of a sudden. And now we're all petrified. Monk's been side-eyeing sneaker pimps for the last 20 minutes, and there's no way they're considered metal. That's what it's come to. Look, we're flipping album covers over to look for clues, rifling through CDs, scrolling through old iPods, scanning Spotify playlists, flicking through books, hunting for anything with numbers, anything with hidden meanings, songs with numerology, coded messages, cursed tracks, and we're starting to find some scary shit. Did you know there was this whole thing in America back in the 80s where Judas Priest were taken to court because people thought they were trying to make kids kill themselves? Turns out it was complete bollocks. They were found not guilty. The whole case hinged on this weird claim that if you played Better By You, Better By Me backwards, it whispered, do it, do it. Total warning sticker madness. Do it? Do what? That song's not even about suicide. Then there's Suicide Solution by Ozzy Osbourne. Wine is fine, but whiskey's quicker. Blizzard of Oz. That one got dragged through the mud too. People claimed Ozzy was trying to off his fans, but it's ridiculous. Despite his best efforts, he hasn't even managed to kill himself with drink and drugs. How's he going to kill anyone else? And as he said in interviews, why the hell would he want his fans dead? He wants them alive. He wants them buying records, gig tickets, and plush furry bats with detachable heads. Echo's got one. Anyway, we went down a proper rabbit hole on backward masking. Monk took us round his place and demonstrated his turntable. He was in his element. It's got this feature that lets it play vinyl in reverse, because he thinks he's a DJ, obviously. We spun an old Ozzy record backwards and found a hidden message. Your mother sells whelks in Hull. Clearly taking the piss. While we were knee-deep in satanic panic nostalgia, Echo mentioned something else. It's Unit's birthday in a few days. She remembered because last year we all went to a gig for it. She gave him a Zune, a real one, for his collection. The year before, she gave David his Walkman. This year, none of us have the energy. We asked Unit what he wanted to do, and he just went quiet. He's been throwing himself into the list, digging through songs, searching. Instead of talking about living, he's trying not to let any of us die. And honestly, the deeper we get into this, the more skeptical I start to feel. Every now and then I stop and think, are we just connecting dots that don't really exist? I mean, it's all pretty tenuous, right? A song playing on an iPod, a secret hidden track on a cassette, a phrase scrawled into the run-out groove of a record from 40 years ago. But then I think about our boys. I think about Peachy. I think about David. I think about how at home the 8 of us used to feel together. And I think, who would ever want to leave that? Maybe one day when we're older, when we've got responsibilities, when the ocean of shit finally catches up with us. Maybe then. But not now. Right now, this is the time of our lives. It's weird, isn't it? 2 of your friends have just died. You're half convinced you're being hunted by some heavy metal-themed demonic force. And yet, now, the 6 of us huddled together, piecing together this mad puzzle. I've never felt so alive. Monk was flipping through a pile of vinyl when he stopped cold. Oi, this one's stamped. He held up a battered 12-inch copy of Killed by Death by Motorhead. In the top corner, a battered silver sticker stamp, Countingdon School Library. Echo tilted her head. Why would the school library even have Motorhead? Where did you get this? Monk shrugged. I bought it at a boot sale, years ago. 50p. I got a stack of discs at the time. He slid the record halfway out, then froze. Hang on, there's something inside. He pulled out a folded bit of old newspaper, yellowing at the edges. Prue leaned over. What is that? Echo carefully unfolded it. It was a clipped article from the Countingdon Gazette, dated July 1989. Prue leaned closer. Let me guess, ritual sacrifice at the school disco? Echo skimmed. Local youth band causes chaos at summer dance. Mantilla, great name, played the school disco after voting fraud, caused uproar. They bombed. No one liked it, except she pointed at the article. Apparently one girl in the crowd who thought they were amazing. There's a grainy black and white photo, a scrawny band mid-solo in front of a bemused crowd, dead-eyed teachers in the periphery, and one skinny girl at the front throwing devil horns, ecstatic. Wow, look at her. Echo trailed off. We all stared. She's having the time of her life, I said. She's the only one, Monk added. Unit frowned. Who keeps this kind of clipping? Someone who didn't think it was a disaster, said Prue. Someone who thought it was the best night of her life. I looked at the picture closer. So she owned this record before Monk and stole it from the school library. Naughty girl. Echo gently folded the clipping. Right, back to the list. She opened the spreadsheet again. So here's a thought. What if it's not just songs with numbers, but songs with dates? Like a sequence, a timeline. Monk lit up. So we're talking release order? Prue furrowed her brow. But Seven Deadly Sins is from 88. 8 Miles High, the Husker Du version, that's what 84. Echo nodded, which puts 7 after 8. That fits. Monk frowned. Hang on. Number of the Beast is from 82. So that would break the sequence. Unless it's not on the list, Prue offered. Just a red herring. This is getting me wound up and down like a yo-yo. Or the whole idea's bollocks, I said. I mean, if the pattern's broken, we're back to square one. Echo stared at the screen. It's shaky, yeah, but it still helps us narrow things. Maybe not in a neat row, but maybe it's all pre-1990, vintage tracks only. Like one someone could have put on a mixtape back then, I added. I don't know. Like 1989, for example. I nodded toward the clipping. That year again, Twink said. Maybe Taylor Swift has a hand in all this. We all stare at Twinkle. Nobody says a word, but they hear us and make a mouth zip motion. I held up a hand. No, I'm not saying the gig and the killer are connected. I'm saying, mate, that era matters. If these songs all existed then, why now? Why use them now? There was a silence. Then Twink muttered, it'd be easier if they just left us a playlist and a warning. Like a talismanic cassette, little demon face on the cover. It looked like the Evil Dead soundtrack. Monk closed the record sleeve. Library's shut now anyway. We can't get back in tonight. Prue stood and stretched. So what next? Monk shrugged. Wait for morning? Twink sighed. It's Friday. The shack's open. Unit hesitated. We're going out? I hesitated too. My limbs felt full of lead, my stomach a mix of dread and cravings for some numbness. Echo looked up. We've done all we can tonight. Let's breathe before we all start seeing the Babadook grinning at us from every song title. There was a lull after the Motorhead discovery, half the group drifting, half still clinging to clues. Twink was putting records back in the wrong sleeves. Monk was taking them back out and putting them right. It was like a vicious circle. Echo was typing, back hunched, absorbed. Then Unit checked his phone. Muttley just messaged. That got our attention. She says it's dead tonight, he added. Told us to stop being little hermits and come hold the place up. Prue smirked. The shack runs on pack loyalty. Monk was already grabbing his coat. Can't let it die on a Friday. There was a brief pause before anyone else moved. I lingered, eyes flicking toward Echo's screen. She was still scrolling, still searching. You coming? Prue asked me. I shrugged, non-committal. We can't crack this tonight. And besides, Muttley's expecting us. The music's loud. Less than Jake are blaring out of the speakers. Let me give you some insight into my insides. I haven't been this confused in such a long time. But we're not feeling it tonight. Each of us has our usual pint in front of us, but we're staring into them, not knocking them back. Well, Twink and Unit are having a go, but even they seem to be lacking momentum. Muttley told us to take our table. She'd kept it for us. While not exactly empty, she did shoo Pond Life and Jimmy Pockets away the second we walked in. Monk's the first to break the silence. He mimes tapping Echo's laptop with 2 fingers. If someone made a Killing the Pack playlist, he says, then someone's thinking not just about the numbers. There's more to it. Layers. Echo nods. It's not a shuffle situation. They're chosen. On purpose, with meaning maybe, to each of us, or not. Twink stretches out, eyes on the stained ceiling tiles. Okay, but why? Like, what's the goal? To freak us out? Make it look like something it isn't? Reap some terrible re-wenge? Monk doesn't answer, just waits, and that's when it clicks again. That thing from the start. Gavid, still fresh. Peachy a little further back, but still there. The way once you see something, really see it, you can't unsee it. They didn't seem like they wanted to die, and once that's in your head, you have to ask, what if they didn't? If we're guessing what's on a playlist, I say slowly, a proper breadcrumb trail, some Zodiac bullshit, then maybe we need a second list. Prue raises an eyebrow. Second list? I nod. Yeah, the songs are the pattern, some Deus Ex girlfriend or something, but someone grabbed the aux cord from behind us. Unit leans in, finally. You mean a list of people? Of murderers? Suspects? People who'd know the songs, I say, who'd understand how to use them, who'd want to. Twink picks up a beer mat and starts spinning it between their fingers. And people who have access to us. Echo looks up. Access, or axes. To grind, maybe. There's a pause, not suspicious, just scared. Do we have enemies? I ask. I hate this, Echo says softly, mostly to herself. I hate that it makes sense. No one wants it to, Monk replies, but it does. I feel it now. The wobble in my gut. Paranoia, creeping up again. Who would want to kill Gavid, Peachy, the rest of us? We don't write anything down. Not yet, but in our heads we're already scrolling. Teachers, parents, people from the shack, townies, someone with a grudge, someone who watches from the edge of things and thinks they know us. Bouncer seems pretty pissed off with us on a regular basis, says Unit, frowning. Prue shrugs. Bouncer's a homophobic moron. What about Peachy? Who'd want to hurt him? We sit in silence. Someone jealous, I suggest. He flirted with everyone's girlfriend. Maybe a jilted John? Twink snorts. And boyfriend. Nah, I say. I dunno. Lots of people hate on moshers. We're an easy target, I think to myself. Peachy's dad hated all of us, Monk says. I sit bolt upright. Enough to kill his own son? Get out of here. No way. Revenge for Peachy? Monk asks, quieter now. I can't believe where this is going. Then he changes tack. But 8 miles high is the first clunker, a breadcrumb that tasted wrong. You're tasting the breadcrumbs? Twink asks, mock horrified. Unit scoffs. Gavid didn't kill himself. I won't believe it. Neither did Peachy. And for the record, I'm not going to kill myself either. I lift my pint. I'll drink to that. I knock it back to halfway in one go. I'd like to sign up for not killing myself if that's still on offer, says Prue, raising her glass. 6 weeks without Peachy, she adds. I don't plan on joining him. She takes a long sip of brown ale. I do love a woman who drinks brown ale, I think to myself. Don't say it out loud. Twink clinks their glass against hers. Sister. They hold it out for a group cheers. One by one, we're all in. Barking from the PA now is Die on a Rope by the Distillers. I glance at Muttley behind the bar, repping the band on her shirt. Talk about timing, I think. You stare at it too long, and the threats start showing up everywhere. The first death was after the walk home from here, I say. What about Hank? Hank the DJ? Echo asks. Hank the DJ, I holler back over Die on a Rope. Unit joins in just to ride the chaos. Hank the DJ, Monk smirks. What about that taxi driver, the one you threw up in the back of his cab? Prue rolls her eyes. That's not enough to want to kill someone. That sort of shit happens all the time. Besides, it was Mr. Singh. He's adorable. Then I say it without meaning to. It's odd how the inspector kept mentioning the cassette. When he went round to everyone's houses, he always brought it up. Prue frowns. And he told Scotty to give the iPod to Unit. No, Unit says. You're getting it wrong. That was Scotty's, no Peachy's dad, one of the grown-ups. They said we might want to have it because it belonged to him. But did he know what was on it? I ask, or did he just not care? Still seems weird. Echo says, letting something from a death scene end up in our hands just because it might have sentimental value. Monk shrugs. He didn't treat it like a crime scene though, did he? Just a suicide. No reason to lock it down. Or, Twink says, eyes gleaming, Detective Inspector Eels is the killer. Twink slaps the air for a high five. D.I. Eels, Echo deadpans. D.I.E. She makes an oof face like she's blowing on something hot. Fuck off, I mutter. That's cheesy. Twink grins. So's murder, babes. Stop saying that. You know who I haven't seen in a while? I ask. Who's that? Says Prue, not quite looking at me. Vincent and Baby Bat. Unit lifts his head, looks around the pub. We all do, scanning the corners automatically. Riff, you've got a point, Monk says. Vincent and Baby Bat aren't here. They're always here, Twink adds. Well, one of them is. Usually. Have you seen them since we were out on the Old Kent Road? I ask. Prue shakes her head. No, I can't say that I have. I think back. Actually, I had Vincent drive past me the other night, I say. Snagged a bit of 9 Inch Nails from his cab as he sped past. Twink gives me a look. You're not suggesting Vincent is the killer, are you? No. Baby Bat. Don't be daft, I say. I'm just saying I haven't seen them for ages. A silence settles over the table, sudden and hard. Oh shit, Echo says, dead quiet. What? Asks Prue. What if they're not killers? She says. What if they're victims? Vincent? Bats? Before anyone can say anything else, Muttley appears at the edge of our table. She's carrying a couple of empties, wiping the rim of one with a bar towel that's more filth than fabric at this point. You lot all right? She asks, eyes flicking from Twink to Unit to me. We all sort of nod, not really. Anyone seen Vincent tonight? I ask, trying to sound casual and failing. Or Baby Bat? Echo adds. Muttley pauses. Not seen him in here, no. She says it simply. But it makes my stomach drop. She'd know. If they'd been through, she always knows. She glances down at the half-drunk pints and the silences hanging around them. All right, you've got your little grave circle going, but don't start casting curses on the town's goth elders, yeah? They're probably at the Beacon or off brooding in a car park somewhere. I laugh. Too loud. She looks at me. Not through me. At me. For a second I feel 12 and 17 at the same time. Cheers. Muttley, Prue says, cool as anything. Muttley gives a final smirk and disappears back behind the bar. Her ponytail swings as she walks, and the back of her distiller's tee is riding up just enough to show a slash of skin. I try not to stare, try not to look at Prue either. You all right? Prue asks gently. She's watching me. She knows that look. There's a moment of silence that would be awkward if we hadn't already been living in awkward for weeks. Then the speakers crackle. That quiet, queasy little guitar line creeps in. Twink gives me a look like they want to tease, but think better of it. She eyes me like a Pisces when I am weak. The whole table stills. Twink freezes. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Here it comes. We all know it. That sick, sweet tension in Kurt's voice like he's already halfway to the scream. The whole room seems to lean in just a little. I take a long drink, hoping it hides my face. Hey, wait, I got a real complaint. The chorus kicks in like a gut punch. Monk jumps slightly in his seat. Echo closes her phone with wide eyes. All right, Prue says. Enough dancing around. If Vince and Bats aren't here and we're not spiraling, what's the next move? Monk's chewing the inside of his cheek and I'm sat here between my best friend and the girl I can't stop watching, thinking, oh, you got a complaint, Cobain? Take a fucking number, mate. Get in line.